especially Ethan. Ethan is like the little one. He's just like, it doesn't, whatever he's eating is the best of whatever that is that he's ever had. You know what I mean? Like, I'll make him a grilled cheese, like a regular. He's like, Mom, this is the best grilled cheese you've ever made. Like, and last week when I made him a grilled cheese, like, this is the best one you've ever had. Like, so whatever's happening in that moment, it's such a boost to one's ego.
Yes,
You're
it
just
is
like,
very
oh,
fun
thank you.
cooking for him.
Yeah, he's fun.
On today's Harness the Power of Planning podcast, we have a rebroadcast of episode 34. As we like to say, planning makes everything easier, and that includes holiday leftovers. So we're going to talk about how you can be creative with your holiday leftovers so that you can still have delicious meals, but maybe not have the exact same meal you just had yesterday. All on the podcast, starting now. So Natasha and I together are Beyond Your Wildest Dreams, and we're all about helping moms and caregivers prioritize themselves, save time, and accomplish your goals. And we do that through short read workbooks, which here's our bouquet of workbooks. You see they're all about 45 minutes to an hour to read. And you're not just going to read them, you're going to actually put pencil or pen to paper so that you can learn. And we also teach workshops. Our most popular workshop is called 3-2-1 Done, 3 Simple Strategies to Get Your To-Do List Done. So it's a workshop version of our best-selling book. And then we have our big life design class, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But our big life design class is coming up in January 20th and 27th, 2024. And if you can't attend live virtual, because it's virtual, you do have access to the recorded videos. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. That's coming up. I'm really excited about that because it's always the latest and greatest.
Yes, it's always fun. Natasha and I are lifelong learners. The Sorting Hat put us in Ravenclaw. We like to learn and we like to figure things out. And we teach the course only once a year, and so we always learn things in between, and we think of ways to better explain what it is we're trying to share with people. And also, from our own experience, we learn ways to do things slightly differently that we find to be more effective, and we get so excited to share that with our alumni. And so, yeah, and our students, right? Because our alumni also will hear about the latest and greatest. But what I'd like to talk about today just a little bit is sort of like the little planning involved when it comes to food. And it's interesting because this is something that I'm talking through with my child. And, especially during the holidays when there are leftovers, often, how thinking creatively about those leftovers so that you can have another joyous food experience that is, slightly different. So, for instance, one of the things that I've been teaching my child about this year, I'm always teaching her with regards to cooking, because my mom is an amazing cook, but I like to joke that she thought of her cooking time as spa time, because she would always close the door to the kitchen and not let us in. She was like, I'm having my fun. Leave me alone.
Good for her. She knows what she needed to do for her self-care. Good for her.
Yes. But consequently, literally, I don't cook anything my mom cooks because I never saw her cooking.
And yet you're an amazing cook yourself. So maybe it's got to be hereditary, even though she didn't show you. You weren't at her hip.
Here's what I think it is. I don't think it's hereditary. I think it's because her good cooking developed my palate.
Yeah.
And so when I went to college, you know how there's the freshman 15? I had the freshman -15. I was like, you want me to eat this? I don't understand. This is not good.
Like, this is gross.
Yeah. So I had to learn to cook because I was a picky eater in terms of, right. The other night I went out to a restaurant and the server asked, are there any food allergies? And I said, I am allergic to bad food. And so that is my food allergy. And when you're allergic to bad food, you have to learn to cook. Right?
Yes, agreed. So you're like, out of necessity.
Out of necessity. So one of the things that when I used to teach cooking classes, and one of the things I wanted to teach to my daughter, is how to think of a meal beyond the initial meal, because often there are leftovers. And some people even cook large enough specifically so there are leftovers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So we like to do a roast chicken, twice a month or at least once a month. And so, I show my daughter how to make a roast chicken. And then I said, there's always enough meat left over to either do enchiladas, chicken enchiladas, or chicken pot pie, or chicken sandwiches. And then, even when you think that there's almost nothing there, we take the carcass and we make bone broth.
Mhm.
And, the carcass will go from this big to like this big when
Right.
you make the bone. It's amazing. It's
Yeah, it
amazing to see.
shrinks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then
Falls
I'll
apart.
just either throw in some noodles or throw in some lentils or whatever kind of soup we're going to, or throw in ramen, whatever soup we're gonna have, and then there's 3 meals that you've had with 1 chicken.
Yeah.
And so something to think about this holiday season as you're doing your shopping is, make sure you have maybe enough bread to make sandwiches, or maybe even, I don't buy it all the time, but I'll buy it for special occasions. The little Hawaiian bread, the little mini ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hawaiian breads, the rolls, the original rolls, because they have different kinds. You want the original,
Yeah, the
right? Because they
original
have, like,
rolls
uh-huh.
and the little
'Cause
ones, right? So like
mhm.
those make, like, if you have ham, I just love, right? If you have
Those,
ham for your dinner, there's nothing like a
they're the
little
best.
mustard and a little
They're the
ham
best.
on those tiny little rolls.
They are the best. Like, those rolls were made for ham. There's no way that they weren't. They just were, right? Because isn't ham like a thing in Hawaii, like, right, ham and spam and all that stuff, right? Those rolls
Yes.
go with
Yes.
ham like you would not believe. Like,
Yes.
I mean, they're good for other things too, but man, with ham, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm half Chinese and half Mexican, so like pork and rice are big parts of my life, right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yes. But it takes a little bit of planning because it's not something I have all the time. It's not something that is necessarily carried at every grocery store. Although nowadays Trader Joe's has their own version of it, right? So
That's right.
you can find,
Mhm.
but because Trader Joe's is like one of the closest grocery stores for me. So sometimes I have to make like, oh no, I have to go further to get something I need. But
Right.
they now have it at Trader Joe's. So, just with a
Mhm.
little bit of planning, you can create these fun special moments because again, we don't have Hawaiian bread around our house a lot. So it is like,
Right.
oh my gosh, there's Hawaiian bread in here. You
Yeah.
know, with just a little bit of
That's
planning.
mhm.
And
That's
so
our
say
special go-to for road trips. Excuse me, for road trips. I just make like a, I just cut the whole thing in half and make the whole thing into ham sandwiches and slice them up because they're tiny and they're little and you can just pull them out of the cooler bag like really
yeah.
quick. Like, so if we're traveling and somebody's hungry, like it's like a quick little,
Yeah.
so the kids know that we only really do that on road trips, but I call hammies. I'm like, who wants a hammy? Like, and well, now my one son is vegetarian, so that makes it a little more difficult. More for the rest of us.
Right.
Yes,
I
they're super delicious.
You could even
Mhm.
elevate it and grill it a little bit, right? And if you like,
Mhm.
the croque monsieur, croque madame style, you could
Oh
add a little
yeah,
bit of cheese
cheese.
and
Yep,
grill
for
it.
sure.
So, another idea, right, is for if you're having poultry, so if you're having chicken or turkey for your holiday meal, I love a little sandwich on a baguette. So,
Mhm.
keep baguette around again with the poultry and then, a good mayonnaise, which by the way, Trader Joe's has an amazing Dijon garlic aioli
Oh, really?
in a glass bottle.
Oh,
That is fantastic on poultry. In fact, I've been making a really great chicken salad with it, just cutting up some chicken, whipping
I
that
just
in
used
there.
their. I just used. I just made an aioli last night with their. I thought you were going to say their organic mayonnaise. I thought you were going to talk about their organic mayonnaise, which is also pretty good for mayo. Like mayo's. It can be just vanilla, I suppose. But sometimes you come across a good one. It's not bad. It's not bad. But so the garlic aioli at Trader Joe's.
Oh, yes. Well, this
Very
one is
nice.
mustard aioli mix. So
Oh,
it's
mustard. Oh, awesome. That sounds delicious.
yes,
Yay.
so
Oh, that sounds really good.
so good on poultry, and then another really fun tip that just requires just a little bit of planning is like if you have too much stuffing left over, making stuffing muffins the next day,
Mhm.
right? Where you
Those
just
are
take
great.
stuffing, you add an egg, you add maybe a little cheese if you like cheese in there. You can make little muffins, or you can even make basically a stuffing bread pudding. It's a savory bread pudding and, serve that as a dish. So there's fun ways to think about leftovers with just a little bit of planning that can make the leftovers as fun and special as the original meal.
Yeah, let's stretch out the fun, right? Because all the
Yeah.
work that goes into that first meal, there's so much work that goes into it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that you'd like it's really great to be able to like to stretch it out so that you can
Yes.
continue to enjoy it.
And one other thing that I always do is my family were huge into popovers for holiday meals, and I'll be
So
making them
great. So
again
good. Hmm.
for our Christmas meal. I always make enough batter that we can have popovers the following morning
Hmm.
fresh. So I put the
Hmm.
batter aside. The next morning, I first thing I do is I turn on the oven to warm it up, and then everyone wakes up to the smell of popovers, which is just like, yeah.
Yum. Can I stay at your house? I want to come stay at your house. My family can go back east and I'm going to stay at your house because that sounds amazing. I love
Well,
it.
just to torture Natasha a little bit more, we did make, eggnog last night, so
I was gonna ask you because you said you're gonna make it over the weekend. Did you make it on the weekend? Did
You
you?
know what? I ended up not making it on the weekend.
Mhm.
Things were busier than expected, and so I ended up making it last night,
I
and
was gonna ask you about the eggnog. I'm like, so tell me about the eggnog.
it was delicious, and it's so easy. Look, I'll tell you all really quick right now. Literally, it's 6 yolks with half a cup of sugar, and you whip that together, and then you slowly bring to a simmer 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of cream, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of fresh nutmeg, depending on how much you like nutmeg, because I love it, and then a pinch of salt. Okay. You bring that to a slight simmer, and then you have to temper the egg yolks, which means you add the hot milk to the egg yolks as you're whisking, just like a quarter cup at a time. Otherwise, the egg yolks will curdle and it'll still
Mhm.
taste delicious. It will just look kind of gross. So
Yeah,
if
right.
you,
You don't want you don't want a curdled looking eggnog.
yeah, it
Gross. Yeah.
tastes great, but, you'd have to keep whipping and you add the hot milk slowly, and then once it's all added, you put it back into the pot and you warm it a little bit until it thickens a little bit. Uh, it will get much thicker when it's cool, and you can thin it with milk, but if you thin it with milk, you're gonna lose some of the taste. So, just we actually like to just have it warm right away because it's nice and
Hmm.
thin and it has that full flavor, and
Yes. Yes.
I personally like to add amaretto to my eggnog because I think that,
Hmm. Yes.
almond
Amaretto.
flavor, but you could always add
So
almond
good.
extract, if you don't drink, add a little
Yeah.
almond extract, and you
Sure.
also add a quarter teaspoon of vanilla once it's off the flame because you don't wanna cook the vanilla, and then
You know.
just
Hmm.
a dash of cinnamon. It's so easy, and it tastes like, I literally went from never drinking eggnog because I didn't care for the see, this is me I'm allergic to bad food.
Bad food. Allergic to bad food.
Yeah, so I went from never drinking eggnog to now I love it so much because the homemade version just tastes a million times better.
And my older son is like an eggnog, like he's a fiend. Like as soon as it's like December 1st, like, can we buy eggnog? Like he's like immediately, and of course we got to try your eggnog last year and they still talk about it.
Delicious,
Still
as your
talk about it.
littlest one
Yeah, the
says.
little one goes, this is delicious. Yeah, exactly.
Delicious. I love
Delicious.
having your boys over to eat. It's fun. It's
They
fun
are,
watching them
because
eat my food.
your daughter is used to it, right? My boys are like, oh my God. Especially Ethan. Ethan is like the little one. He's just like, it doesn't whatever he's eating is the best of whatever that is that he's ever had. You know what I mean? Like I'll make him a grilled cheese, like a regular. He's like, Mom, this is the best grilled cheese you've ever made. Like, and last week when I made him a grilled cheese, like, this is the best one you've ever like. So whatever's happening in that moment, it's such a boost to one's ego.
Yes,
You're
it
just
is
like,
very
oh,
fun
thank you.
cooking for him.
Yeah, he's fun.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I know we had a blast talking.
We had a
And
blast talking. We hope you picked up some fun little tips and tricks. Just if you're joining us right now live, great, awesome. We invite you to pop over to Nikki Madero show whenever you get a chance. She's on YouTube, so you can tune into her anytime. She does have her show every single weekday in the morning. She's based also on the West Coast, so morning LA, excuse me, East West Coast time. And we're lucky enough to get to be a guest of hers from time to time. And we're getting to be a guest of hers today. I'm not sure if it's airing today. But
Probably not. Sometimes
probably not.
she records some sessions for the holidays.
But
Like
just in general, she's a great person to listen to. Her
Yes.
co-host is fantastic. She's always tackles some really great topics. And we have been blessed enough to have her. She's reached out to us on topics around planning, parenting, that kind of thing. And so we're going to be in an upcoming episode of hers. Not sure, tomorrow, the next day, I'm not sure, maybe next week. But go ahead and check out Nikki Madero on YouTube as well. She's really fantastic.
Yeah, and you can watch our recorded versions with her if you go to our website, which is in the comments, bywdreams.com. We have all of our interviews and podcasts that we've done there, so you can listen to them. And of course, if you want to listen to this again, it will be on our podcast later today. And one last thing, we will see you here next Thursday, our usual time, 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. And if you're watching the recording, feel free to comment. We do look back at the comments and answer them if there's a question. So we'd love to hear from you.
Bye. Have a great day.
Dream wild, wild dreamers. Thanks for joining us for the Harness the Power of Planning podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen.